In a village where the sky met the earth and where traditions were as old as the whispering baobab trees, there lived a woman named Amina. Amina was enchanting. Her eyes were dark pools of wisdom, and her laughter had the power to make the sternest elder smile. Yet despite her beauty and charm, she remained unmarried. Tired of her solitude and desperate to find a husband, Amina consulted the oracle, a wizened old woman named Nia who could commune with the ancestors. In a hut that smelled of herbs and ancient scrolls, Nia spoke, "Child, your destiny is unlike any other. The man who fathers your child will become the ruler of this village, and his reign will bring unparalleled prosperity." Intrigued and emboldened, Amina devised a radical plan. She would sleep with every eligible man in the village. This way, she reasoned, she would not only find her destined husband but also secure the best future ruler for her people. As weeks turned into months, the village began to buzz, with rumors of Amina's unconventional search for a husband became the talk at every gathering, around every fire. Finally, Amina found herself with a child. She was radiant, her belly round and full of living testament to the prophecy. As her due date approached, tension thickened in the air. Each family with an eligible son began to claim the unborn child as their own, laying their stake in the future chieftainship title. In the middle of this maelstrom, Amina gave birth to a healthy baby boy. The village rejoiced. But the joy was short-lived, for the next problem was immediate and pressing. Who was the father of this child born to rule? Elders convened, wives gossiped, warriors sharpened their spears, everyone had a theory, and every man wanted a test. The village was on the brink of civil war, and only the true identification of the child's father could bring peace. Yet Amina remained serenely confident. She knew that the prophecy would not fail her, nor would it fail her people, and so with her newborn son cradled in her arms, she awaited the revelation that would change the fate of her village forever. A week had passed. Since the birth of Amina's son, whom she named Tariq, meaning he who knocks at the door, it seemed as though Tariq was indeed knocking at the door of a new era for the village. Fraught with uncertainty and anticipation, the Council of Elders, the esteemed body responsible for making major decisions in the village, convened under the oldest baobab tree. Its gnarled branches seemed to sag with the weight of the momentous decision ahead. "Our ancestors have always shown us the way in times of both harmony and discord," said the eldest among them, his voice trembling like the last leaves of autumn. "We must seek their wisdom to resolve this crisis." Just then, Nia the oracle stepped into the circle, her eyes glowing with a fire that seemed almost supernatural. "I have spoken with the ancestors," Nia began, her voice a mesmerizing melody that silenced even the cicadas. "They proposed a test, one that will reveal not just the father of young Tariq, but also the future leader of our people." Murmurs spread through the council. Even among the elders who had seen many harvests and many seasons, this was unprecedented. The test continued. Nia will require each potential father to undertake a journey to the sacred mountain. At its peak lies a stone, not just any stone, a moonstone imbued with the wisdom of our ancestors. The man who returns with this stone will be deemed the true father and the destined ruler of our village. A collective gasp filled the air. The sacred mountain was a place of many perils, wild beasts, treacherous terrain, and above all, spiritual trials that could break even the strongest will. Yet, the Council of Elders knew there was no other way. After a moment of ponderous silence, Nia spoke. "Then it is decided each claimant will set forth at dawn 3 days hence. May the ancestors guide us." As the council dispersed, a kaleidoscope of emotions filled the village square. Excitement, fear, and hope all woven together in a tapestry as intricate as life itself. Amina, holding Tariq close to her chest, felt a calm assurance wash over. Her ancestors had set the stage, and now it was up to the men to prove their mettle. But even she couldn't foresee the twists and turns that lay ahead, for the journey to the sacred mountain was one that would bring surprising revelations, ones that would change the village and its people in ways they had never imagined. As dawn broke 3 days later, a sense of expectancy enveloped the village. The air was thick with the smell of burning sage as incense billowed from the homes, seeking the blessings of the ancestors for the journey ahead. 6 men stood at the village square, each representing a different family claiming Tariq as their kin. Their faces were a canvas of emotions. Eagerness, fear, and a simmering excitement that seemed almost palpable. Amina, cradling Tariq in her arms, watched them quietly. Her eyes met each of theirs. A wordless message that seemed to say, "May the best man win." With a blow of horn and the beat of drums, the journey began. Each man carried a satchel filled with offerings, kola nuts, palm wine, and sacred amulets to honor the spirits of the sacred mountain. The path was laden with challenges, both physical and mystical: rivers that twisted like serpents, forests that whispered secrets, and caves that echoed with the laughter and cries of forgotten souls. However, the real test lay at the foot of the sacred mountain. A stone altar stood there, inscribed with ancient runes that told tales of heroes, God's love, and betrayal. Beside the altar was a pool of water so clear it mirrored their deepest fears and desires. As the men reached the altar, a voice echoed around them. So theoretically, it seemed to belong to the mountain itself. Offers what you value most, and you may proceed. The voice resonated, filling the air with an unspoken gravity. One by one, the men approached the altar. Some offered gold, others heirlooms passed down through generations. But nothing happened. The way to the peak remained sealed, as if mocking their futile attempts. Finally, it was Jano's turn. Jano was not the wealthiest or the strongest among them, but he was known for his wisdom and humility. Instead of placing an object on the altar, he kneeled and offered a prayer. A prayer for the village, for Amina, and for the unborn generations who would inherit the earth. As he finished, the altar glowed, a soft radiant light, and the path to the peak opened up. As if summoned by his sincerity, all the men followed Django as he led the way. The weight of their journey seemed a little lighter, the resolve a little stronger. Bound by the newfound understanding that true leadership is required more than just wealth or strength, it required the wisdom of the heart. The ascent up the sacred mountain was unlike any other climb. Every step seemed to be a dance between the earthly and the divine, where physical exertion met spiritual enlightenment. The men felt their breaths grow shorter, but their senses heightened. Every rock, every gust of wind appeared imbued with ancestral wisdom. Finally, they reached the peak where the sky seemed to be within arm's reach. Twinkling stars bearing witness to this pivotal moment in the village's history. There it was, the moonstone glowing. Softly in the moonlight, almost as if pulsating with the heartbeat of the mountain itself, Jano approached the stone first. His hands trembling as he touched its cool surface, the moonstone lit up, its glow intensifying into a radiant beam that shot up towards the sky, returning as a cascade of light that enveloped him. "Son of Kofi," a celestial voice echoed, "you have proven your worth. This child is yours, and you are destined to lead your people." Overwhelmed by emotion, Django fell to his knees. The men who accompanied him were silent, humbled, and awed by the revelation. Their prior envy and rivalry dissipating like morning mist as they descended the mountain. The village came into sight, bathed in the soft glow of dawn. The men felt different. Transformed not just by the revelation but also by the journey itself. It was as if they had shed layers of ignorance and ego, revealing new skins of wisdom and humility. When they arrived, the entire village had gathered, the tension in the air palpable, a sea of faces anxious and expectant. Jano stepped forward, holding the moonstone high for all to see. "The ancestors have spoken," he declared. "I am the father of Tariq, and it is my destiny to lead this village." A collective gasp followed, then a roar of cheers and ululations. The elders nodded in approval of their faith in ancestral wisdom reaffirmed. Amina, with Tariq in her arms, walked over to Jano. Their eyes met, and in that moment, all the complexities and hardships seemed to melt away, leaving behind a pure, unspoken understanding as Jano took his son in his arms for the first time. The village erupted in joyous celebration, but Amina knew that this was just at the beginning. They had averted a crisis and perhaps even started a new chapter in their history, but the real work lay ahead in raising a child destined for greatness, and leading a village towards prosperity. Yet with the moonstone as their guiding light and ancestral wisdom in their hearts, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead together. Several moons had passed since the day Django was declared the father of Tariq and the future leader of the village. Sense of peace and prosperity seemed to have settled over the community, testament to the prophecy foretold, or so it seemed. One faithful evening, as Amina was nursing Tariq under the shadow of their family, she overheard a hushed conversation from behind the thick baobab tree that stood sentinel-like near her home. "You've done well, Django. The village expects nothing, and the prophecy appears fulfilled." The raspy voice of Nia the oracle was unmistakable. "My conscience is troubled, Nia. We have deceived the people, who trust us, and I am raising a son who is not truly mine." Django's voice quivered with regret. "But you will be wise and kind ruler. Isn't that what's best for the village?" "A benevolent deception, I call it," Nia responded, with her tone chillingly casual. Amina's heart sank. Betrayal like a stealthy serpent had entered her garden of trust. As she looked at Tariq, innocent and oblivious, new resolve formed in her mind. The villagers might have been deceived, but they deserved the truth, especially when a future leader was in question, and her son Tariq deserved to know his true heritage. But how would she expose this conspiracy without plunging the village into chaos once again? Amina knew she had to tread carefully. The moonstone, the very symbol of Jano's supposed legitimacy, suddenly seemed to her like the lock to a secret that only the true father could unlock. As the village slept unaware of the storm that was quietly brewing, Amina began to formulate a plan. A test so definitive it would reveal the true father without doubt or dispute. But first she had to ensure the moonstone authenticity, for if the moonstone was part of the deceptions, mystical power could still point to the real father, providing it was subjected to a ritual known only to the most enlightened sages. And so, under the veil of night, Amina set forth to consult the only person outside the village who could help the hermit sage of the ebony forest. Amina's journey through the ebony forest was fraught with risks, hidden pitfalls, nocturnal predators, and the ever-menacing darkness. But a mother's determination knows no bounds, especially when the future of her child is at stake. Deep within the forest, where ancient trees seemed to touch the heavens, Amina finally reached the secluded dwelling of the hermit sage. With a long flowing beard and eyes that held the wisdom of ages, the sage welcomed her. "I have been expecting you, Amina," the sage began. "The forest whispers tales, and your plight has not gone unnoticed." Gathering her composure, Amina told the sage everything: the birth of Tariq, the journey to the sacred mountain, and the overheard conspiracy between Jano and Nia. "I seek the truth, wise one," she concluded. "Can the moonstone still reveal Tariq's true father?" The sage stroked his beard thoughtfully before speaking. "The moonstone is an ancient relic of truthfully. Its power can be manipulated, but it cannot be entirely corrupted. There exists a ritual lost to time but known to me that can cleanse the stone of any deceptions." Hope kindled in Amina's eyes as she listened intently to the sage. "You must perform the ritual of truth on the night of the new moon. The moonstone bathed in the sacred waters of the Whispering Lake and subjected to this ritual will shine only in the hands of the true father." Armed with newfound hope and the elaborate instructions from the hermit sage, Amina thanked him and journeyed back to the village, her heart pounding with a mixture of hope, fear, and anticipation. She arrived just before dawn, slipping back into her home unnoticed. In her eyes was a glimmer of resolve, for she knew what had to be done next: retrieve the moonstone from its guarded sanctuary and prepare it for the ritual of truth. The stakes were sky high. If she succeeded, the entire village would finally know the truth, but if she failed, she risked not just her own reputation but the very peace and harmony that currently blanketed her community. As she laid Tariq back into his crib, she looked at her son, his small face serene in sleep, completely unaware of the turmoil surrounding his young life. The new moon was just 3 nights away, and Amina knew that the future of her family and her village would be irrevocably altered by what the moonstone would reveal, or what it would fail to. As the new moon approached, Amina felt time compressed, each second loaded with impending revelation or disastrous consequence. She had managed to discreetly acquire the moonstone from its sanctuary with the help of a sympathetic guard who believed in her quest for truth. Now it lay hidden beneath the floorboards of her hut, pulsing as if aware of its imminent role. Finally, the night of the new moon arrived. With Tariq safely asleep and Django away at a council meeting, Amina seized her opportunity. She unearthed the moonstone and set off towards the Whispering Lake, a secluded body of water said to possess cleansing energies. Cloaked in darkness, her heart pounding in sync with her steps, the community had been fortified by the irreplaceable virtues of truth and unity, and that made all the difference. And so Amina, Mazi, and Tariq stood at the threshold of a promising new life. Their hearts aligned with the enduring wisdom that truth, once revealed, has the power to heal unique and herald a brighter future. Thank you for following this intriguing tale. Sometimes the path to truth is twisted and steep, but it's a journey worth taking, for the truth sets us free. If you enjoyed this story, please feel free to drop a like and also subscribe to the channel, so that you won't miss out on more interesting story like this.